Scene shifts to a video message being displayed, where a man introduces himself as General Tabak Shrendra of Rajapura. He declares his intentions. He states that he and his comrades intend on overthrowing their corrupt government, and in this process they will not tolerate any foreign interference. He threatens that if any foreign country interferes in their objective, they would kill all the 225 hostages in their possession. He gives a wicked smile and challenges them to show what their country is capable of. In the meeting hall, after the video message and dead people showed faces or anger and frustration. Presenter starts explaining that the man shown is Tabak Shrendra and he belongs to a traditional military family and holds power second only to the president. He has a history of clashing with the state government and has been under special surveillance. One of the men asks whether this man has started his civil war. Presenter gives a positive response and states that this man believes that he would succeed if there is no foreign interference. Their man asks whether this video was sent only to our country. The presenter says that it is indeed the case, as most of the passengers in the plane are from our country. And then he further added that this man has demanded that we stop other countries from interfering in this matter, and that he has also demanded large amount of weapons and funds for this civil war, and if these conditions aren't met within 24 hours, he will start killing the hostages. This makes the man shocked and nervous. All the people present realize how critical the situation is. The gravity of the situation makes their expressions. Cerrone of the men point out that recently this man's corruption was exposed, and those crimes were so severe that he is on the verge of being expelled from his military and even being sentenced for life. Another adds in that if he was going to lose everything anyway, this must be his last desperate act. One of the senior officers asks about Major Kong Hamchin, is informed that currently Major is infiltrating the coast of Rajapurathi. Scene cuts to Major and his crew with the Major in a serious expression. We are made known that due to civil war, the local government can provide only minimal assistance, and since he and his men are against an army, they have been ordered to stand by until further instructions. Scene shifts, and we are shown the plane that was hijacked and many armed men guarding its hostages look out of the plane windows are cursed there. Fatit. That moment, the female hijacker hits the wall of the plane and shouts at the top of her lungs for the hostages to keep quiet. This makes them silent out of fear. None of them wanted to be shot and be displayed as an example. We are shown Yuna gassing out of the window with the sweat rolling down her faceshi. Asks Ijin, who was sitting next to her, about using the satellite phone to inform about their situation, as ever since they had landed, the soldiers have been guarding the outside and there was no one keeping an eye on them. Ijin informs her Kami that they can't turn on the satellite phone here, for the hijackers may have devices to detect the phone. Yuswa hearing this, Yuna's face turns Pelagian tells her further that according to his observations, these weren't ordinary hijackers, and if they realized that a phone was used on the plane, they probably wouldn't let it slide and they would make an example out of someone. While searching for the Fenefter, hearing all this, Yuna turns silent on Suchu, tells them that they were in trouble. He had just returned from the toilet and he overheard the radio. He heard that they had made some sort of demand from their country and would kill them within 24 hours. If their demands aren't met, Ijin checks his watch and deduces that it has been less than 20 hours since they have arrived. Hearing this, Sukstru asked Ijin about what their plan should better this. Ijin says in a calm manner that he would take nap and gather his energy, as he would probably need it later. This leaves both of them with a shocked face. Some hours later, it was dark outside. The passengers bear a sad and tired face, except Ijin. Ijin had just woken up from his nap, and as soon as he woke up, they asked him about how could he sleep. In a situation like this, Yuna asks him if he was waiting for night on purpose. Ijin looks at his watch and says that, by now, our country has probably figured out their locations and must have launched a rescue operation. Raises his hand and asks permission to use the toilet. He rises from his seat, walks past the other passengers, and stands in front of the toilet door. And he says to the hijacker who was studying that the door won't open. Hijacker with an irritated face walks past him to examine the door. Ijin grabs this opportunity and incapacitates her without any sound, and he drags her into the toilet, and then he starts walking towards the toilet on the other side of the plane. As he stands in front of the door, the male asks him in an angry voice about why he was here. Ijin Kami tells him that the door won't open, and in a similar manner, Ijin takes care of this male hijacker and drags him into the toilet and closes the door. As if nothing happened, Eddie hides the gun in his back and walks back. Scene shifts, and we are shown a sniper taking aim and watching over the happening from far in the dark. As the chapter begins, we see the airplane in which our protagonist is held. Then, we observe some soldiers entering the plane via the stairs. As they step inside, Ijin glances at them secretly. When one of the soldiers gets close enough, Ijin swiftly knocks him down. The soldier falls to the ground behind him, alert, and takes aim. Ijin declares that he knows someone is there, and commands him to come out of hiding. Ijin recognizes the voice. It's that of the number 018. He steps out of cover with a shocked expression and confirms whether it truly is 18.018, informs him that, including himself, 001 and 4 other members have come to his rescue as soon as they heard about the hijacking. IJIN asks 018 about the current situation. He learns that, except 4016, the other 2 have entered the plane from this side. Just like him, the scene cuts to the sniper we saw at the end of the previous chapter. We finally see his face. You now realize he is also one of the numbered operatives. He receives a transmission on his radio, indicating he is actively engaged in the operation. The scene shifts to the Major and his men. He is informed by one of his officers that only 1 hour remains until the hijackers' deadline. The Major realizes that, even if they set aside the issue of money, delivering the weapons within this time is nearly impossible. He considers that the demands made by the hijackers are ridiculous. Even if they could meet these demands, they wouldn't be able to supply the weapons themselves. He understands there's no way to satisfy these demands. According to several sources, the leader of the hostages, General is so cornered that people say he's lost his mind. He might start killing hostages as an example when the promised time runs out. Panic sets in as the Major contemplates how to save the hostages. While lost in thought, one of his men excitedly informs him that they received a message from Ijin. We are then shown the command room, where all the officials are gathered. They ask Ijin about the situation. Ijin reports that all the hostages are safe, and all enemies inside the plane have been subdued. He also states that the communications room is secured. Hearing this, the officials look skeptical. One of them, with sweat dripping down his face, asks how Ijin, who was just a bodyguard, managed to do all this. Another official, angry, scolds Ijin, questioning who authorized him to act on his own, as rash actions could have endangered the hostages' lives. He further asks how Ijin would take responsibility if something had gone wrong. The officer explains that they were negotiating and planning to pay the hijackers, but then informs them that the hijackers no longer plan to give them more time. Hearing this, the officer's face turns pale. It's also revealed that even if their country meets all the hijackers' demands, they plan to kill the hostages at the specified time. Only 30 minutes remain. Ijin states that he will now proceed to neutralize the forces outside the plane and requests external support from the Major and his team. Hearing this, all the officers turn to the head officer for approval. The senior officer gives his consent and instructs Ijin to ensure the hostages are returned safely. After the call ends, one officer expresses disapproval, saying it's too reckless and dangerous. How could they leave it in the hands of just a mere bodyguard? Another officer counters, saying Ijin has participated in several missions with them and has proven he's more capable than anyone else. The skeptical officer questions this, pointing out that Ijin was a bodyguard for SW, and moreover, just a student. The officer responds that all missions Ijin participated in are classified, and he cannot share details. He adds that, at this moment, no one is more capable or suitable for the task. Hearing this, the room falls silent. The scene shifts to the plane. There, Ijin is being taken down the plane at gunpoint by 018. Suddenly, they open fire on the hijackers outside. Meanwhile, the sniper stationed on the hill provides cover by taking down as many gunmen as possible. The same is done by Operative 002. In the previous chapter, Ijin devised a plan to rescue the hostages with the assistance of the Major. Now, as this chapter begins, we are shown scenes inside the plane. The passengers are in a state of panic after hearing the sounds of gunshots. Seeing all this, Diakyu shouts at them and tells them not to look outside or lift the window covers, as they are fighting for their sake outside. After hearing this, all of the passengers come to their senses and realize the gravity of the situation they are in. Siakyu then takes a deep breath and takes guard at the plane's entrance with a gun. We are then shown a flashback where Ijin places the gun, which he had acquired from the hijackers in previous chapters, onto Siakyu's lap. Ijin informs Siakyu that he will head outside and instructs him to guard the entrance. Seeing Siakyu's nervous expression, Ijin tells him to remember the training he had gone through in SW. The flashback ends with Ijin telling Siakyu that their lives depend on it. After this, the scene shifts, and we are shown the events occurring outside the plane. The Major and the numbered team are working together, swiftly eliminating the forces of the hijackers. Next, we see Ijin along with 018. Ijin signals to 018 that they should move forward. They begin moving forward, but suddenly, 2 men carrying RPG rockets take aim at our protagonists and 018. Luckily, 16 notices them and takes them out with a sniper rifle. After they deal with the threat, Ijin and 018 continue ahead. Ijin notices some men through a building window and opens fire at them. The enemies retaliate and fire back at our protagonists, but to their despair, 2 enters the room where they are taking cover and shoots them all. The scene shifts, and after intense combat, Ijin reaches the cell where the pilot is being held. The pilot has a swollen eye, and his hands are tied. As soon as he sees Ijin informs him that he is there to rescue him. The scene shifts again, and we are shown Oo for detonating explosives around the plane. Of course, this rescue operation, by Ijin the Major, and the team doesn't go entirely smoothly. We're shown the tent of the lead general responsible for all this. He is being informed about the situation near the plane. He ponders for a moment before ordering his soldiers to blow up the plane, along with the passengers. His soldier tries to deliver this order via his device, but is unable to contact them. As soon as the general hears this, he displays a look of disbelief. We are then taken back to Ijin and the plane. The Major and his men are walking cautiously among the remains of the fallen hijackers. At that moment, they see the numbered team and mistake them for hijackers. They are about to open fire on them, but at that instant, our protagonist makes a cool entrance, his face showing no sign of fatigue at all. He shouts at the top of his lungs, telling them not to open fire. The Major recognizes him, and both parties lower their weapons. The Major contacts his superiors in the command center. He informs them that the hostages are safe. One of the officials asks if there were any casualties. The Major reports that there were no casualties, only a few minor injuries. Hearing this, everyone in the command hall stands up in relief and excitement. The chapter ends with the head official congratulating everyone on their good work. In the previous one, Ijin had informed the officials that the plane was secured and all the passengers were safe. Now, at the start of this chapter, we see Ijin walking calmly toward a group of numbered operatives, their surroundings engulfed in flames, the smoke billowing around them. He approaches them and offers a quiet thanks. 016 responds coolly, "There's no need to thank me." As they communicate over radio during the mission, old memories flood back those intense, adrenaline-filled moments. A faint smile touches Ijin's face, reminiscing about the past. The other three numbered operatives share similar feelings even if they don't voice them aloud. After a moment, they declare that their job here is done, and they're pulling out. Ijin stands silently, watching their backs as they leave. Suddenly, the Major steps forward, approaching Ijin with a curious look. "Are these your old teammates?" he asks. Ijin nods quietly. The Major then inquires about how Ijin came to know about the plane hijacking. "When you contacted SW via satellite phone, you asked for help, right?" Ijin confirms, and the Major acknowledges. "Infiltrating enemy territory so quickly, that's faster than I could have managed. Your former comrades must really care about you." The scene shifts to the airport. The team has safely returned. We see Jia and Yuna, the president of SW, waiting to welcome her. As soon as Yuna spots her grandpa, her eyes fill with emotion. Without hesitation, she runs into his arms, clutching him tightly. The scene reveals how deeply this incident has scarred her and Sukyu, their expressions filled with relief and lingering pain. Scene shifts to Ijin's home. He rings the doorbell, then enters. Inside, he sees his grandpa and sister, both of them in tears, looking exhausted, as if they haven't slept for nights. His grandfather quickly steps forward and pulls him into a warm hug. Daeon stands silently beside, tears of joy streaming down her face. Ijin feels awkward, unsure how to react or reciprocate these feelings. Finally, his grandfather whispers, "I'm glad you're safe." And Ijin offers a rare soft smile. "I'm sorry for making you worry," he replies quietly. The scene shifts again. Ijin receives a call from the Major, who updates him on what happened afterward. The ringleader, General Tobik, resisted to the end but was eventually killed. Rajapura has officially apologized to our country and the victims. The Major then thanks Ijin, saying, "If you hadn't dealt with the enemies from the inside, both the hostages and our troops could have suffered massive losses. They weren't just kidnappers, they were regular army soldiers." Ijin humbly responds, "I didn't do it alone." The Major nods, acknowledging, "We tried to reward your comrades, but they turned it down." Ijin doesn't say anything, contemplating silently. Scene shifts. The hideout of the numbered operatives, they're cleaning weapons. 005, arms crossed, remarks, "If we'd been closer, we'd have joined in too." They discuss the mission. 016 notes, "If those enemy soldiers hadn't attacked from outside and scattered the forces, it would have been much harder." 4. Cleaning his weapon, mentions, "Considering the hundreds of hostages and how tough this mission was, we could have earned a huge reward." 8 serves tea and responds with a grin, who would accept pay when helping a comrade. For looks, annoyed, but 016 and 018 just smile quietly, watching the exchange. The camera then focuses on 002, standing before several monitors, a deep look of thought etched on his face. Scene shifts. An abandoned building. 002 enters to meet someone. It's 003, who greets him with a smile. "Thanks for coming," she says warmly. 002 cuts straight to the point. "Why did you ask me to meet you?" 3, with a cunning smirk, responds, "Because you'd have missed me." 002 isn't in the mood for jokes. Cut the act. "Tell me why you really called me here." 3 sighs and finally reveals her true intent. "I have an offer for you. Join me, and your comrades too." 2 firmly states, "That's not happening." She presses on, accusing them of messing with the mercenary union recently. Why are you fighting such a big organization? We don't even know if it's the numbered or someone else. But soon, we will. She mentions clashes with the Iron and Forest organizations, questioning why they'd fight so many enemies if they're already against so much. Join me, she pleads. With so few of you, the numbered can't handle this alone. She appeals. Think logically. Did you leave the camp just to die a pointless death? Asterisk, asterisk, her voice softens, emotional. I want us to be together again. Do you know how much I missed you? Suddenly, 002 pulls out his gun and points it at her. You doing that? She asks. Alarmed? He replies coldly, don't forget, a traitor must die. He pulls the trigger, shot rings out. She runs, evading bullets. Chaos erupting. Two men rush through the back door, opening fire on 002. He takes cover behind a container. Meanwhile, 3 pulls out her gun, shouting, why are you still clinging to that pathetic rule? If you're serious about following that rule, why did you agree to meet me? 2 shoots down one attacker, replying, I agreed because I planned to kill you. Frustrated, she fires back, asking, don't you want to know why I killed our comrades? I did it for you, so all the others would follow 001, not 002. 003 shouted at 002 in anger, voice trembling with fury. Are you going to say you don't know how numbers felt about 1? Her eyes burned with frustration as she continued. Ever since that brat showed up, we were all wrapped around his finger. He even stole the number 001, the one that should have gone to you. She clenched her fists, voice rising. As time went on, our comrades started trusting and relying on him. Isn't it ironic? We never trusted each other yet. We believed in him, that brat. We did. Her anger intensified, and she spat out the next words with venom, her face twisting with rage. Even when we chased him down, he never killed any of us. Even when he betrayed us and ran away, he didn't kill a single one of us. Then she paused, her voice dropping to a bitter whisper. But do you know what's even more ridiculous? The scene flashes back. She's on a mission, accompanied by another mercenary. She turns to him, eyes sharp and accusing. 3, did you lose him too? 3 responds indifferently. Yeah, ... That single quotes, as a relief. At least now, we won't have to chase 001 for a while. The flashback ends, and Shi-002 speaks coldly, her voice laced with venom. They were actually relieved. They were too injured to keep chasing him. Do you know what would have happened if they returned to camp? They wouldn't have helped you at all. That's why I killed them myself for you. Her words are delivered with a psychopathic smile, as if relishing her own ruthlessness. Finally, 2's voice turns somber, heavy with realization. Hearing you now makes it all so clear. It should have been him, not me. He was the true 001. We ... We only stayed comrades because 001 was there. Suddenly, 003 steps out of cover, shouting, 002. Without hesitation, he begins firing her subordinates, rushing to her side, returning fire in a desperate bid to cover her. Bullets whiz past as 002 is forced to take cover behind the containers, her subordinates fighting fiercely to hold the line. 003 remains in place, eyes wide with confusion, unable to grasp what she has just done. What had she done wrong? Her mind reels. Her subordinates continue firing, forcing 002 into a retreat. Once 002 escapes, her subordinate quickly reports back. Leader, he got away. Hearing this, she snaps back to reality, her expression flickering with a mixture of anger and remorse. Sorry, ... I probably looked weird back there. And ... I made you hear things you didn't need to. In a chilling gesture, she smirks and suddenly shoots her subordinate, then turns her weapon on the others too, and she shoots them as well. After thus, her eyes harden with fury. The scene shifts to the numbered's hideout. As soon as 002 returns, one of his subordinates rushes forward. Where were you? Are you hurt? 002 pulls off his shirt, revealing a deep wound on his arm. He begins to tend to himself. 008, sitting on the sofa, stands up. What happened? 18 quickly takes the medication from 2's hand and offers to treat him. Let me take care of it. 2's voice is serious as he speaks. I got hit while trying to take out 0030, 04, and 016. Stand at attention, listening intently. As 018 applies the medication, he comments softly, looks like the bullet didn't go in. At least 2 remains calm, eyes focused. 003 knows we attacked the mercenary union, and she definitely used that against us. 4 places a hand on his head, frowning. That's not surprising. We knew what we were getting into when we crossed them. 008 nods in agreement. 004 then says to 002, more importantly, ... 2, don't go after 003 alone next time. You never know what trap she might set. Hearing this, 008 adds with a teasing tone, planning to tag along just to be a burden. 004 scowls and, with a playful smirk, replies, what nonsense is that? Why would I be a burden? I'll finish off 003 myself. They all laugh, even 018, who keeps tending to 2's wound. Meanwhile, 2 remains silent, sitting with a straight face, lost in thought. It was because of 001 that we were even able to be comrades. He thinks quietly. The scene shifts again. A man reports to his superior. The superior asks, "You found out who attacked us?" The subordinate straightens and responds with focus. "Yes, it's the group we tried to recruit not long ago, the one called Numbers." Hearing the name, the superior's face twists with pure hatred. The chapter begins at Aijin's home. The scene opens with Aijin sitting at a modest dining table. The atmosphere is warm and inviting. A sense of homeliness fills the room. Aijin is seated comfortably on a chair, and he says, "Thank you for the meal." After he settles in and begins eating, his grandfather calls out his name. The camera shifts to a close-up of Aijin, who responds casually, "Yes." Then his grandfather speaks. "About what happened this time, you said your friends, who visited before, helped you, right? Thanks to them, you came back safely." Aijin nods softly, affirming, "Yes." He gives a small, reserved nod. His grandfather continues, a gentle tone in his voice. "Thanks to them, you came back safely. Shouldn't you thank them properly?" Aijin responds, a little hesitant, "I already did, actually." Then his grandfather, with a faint smile on his face, remarks, "Still, even if you did, shouldn't I thank them in person? It's not like I don't know their faces." Hearing this, Aijin hesitates, caught off guard. The scene then shifts to the numbered hideout. As usual, the members are each absorbed in their own tasks. Some are cleaning their guns. The scene then introduces number 2 was watching the security cameras. A close-up shows his phone ringing. His hand swiftly reaches for his communicator, and he answers quickly. What's going on? He hears a warm, familiar voice from the other end. It's Aijin's grandfather who called him. The grandfather says, "Hello, this is Aijin's grandfather." Number 8. 2 freezes, unsure of what to say. After a moment of silence, he finally responds with a simple hello. Hearing this, the grandfather speaks with gratitude. "I can hear you now. You're doing well, right? I heard you helped Aijin this time, so I wanted to reach out. I just wanted to thank you personally." As he speaks, Aijin sits beside him, panicking internally. Number 2 tries to play it cool, saying it was no big deal, but the grandfather continues, his voice filled with appreciation. "Truly, thank you. Thanks to you, Aijin was able to return safely. Come visit again. I'll cook lots of delicious food." "Okay, just set the date with Aijin and let me know." The call then ends. By this time, the other members have noticed number 2's reaction, perhaps worried that it was number 3 calling again. There's a brief silence. Number 2 presses a button. The call ends with a beep. The room falls into silence. Then, number 18 asks number 2 with a worried expression, "Who was that?" Number 2 responds, "Number 1's grandfather." They all look puzzled, processing what they just heard. Then, recalling the bright and cheerful face of the grandfather, number 4, with hands on his hips, asks in an angry voice, "Why him? Why not number 1? He then questions if is number 1 dead. A realization dawns on them, eyes widening in shock. Number 2 clarifies, "He said he wanted to thank us for helping with what happened. He made plans with number 1 and told us to come visit." The scene lingers on their conflicted, tense expressions. Number 4, sighs and says, "Well, IT can't be helped. We'll just have to make time." They exchange glances, a flicker of concern passing between them. Number 8 then states, "I want to go, but I can't. With everything going on, 003 could be watching us." They look around nervously. Number 18 agrees. And number 3, might have leaked our info to the Mercenary Union. Number 4's face darkens as he remarks that old man thinks we've got all the time in the world. The room falls silent. Everyone looks at number 4 as if he were a fool. He then, irritated, asks why they're giving him that look. Number 8 smiles and responds, "Looks like 004's craving something tasty. I guess we're going out to grab cooking supplies." Number 16 chimes in, "I'll come too. I need to buy something." Number 4 declares he'll have chicken. They share knowing smiles and reply, "Got IT later," in a car with number 8 driving. He comments, "Looks like number 4 is really into Korean-style chicken. Every chance he gets, he asked for it. Thanks to that, I've gotten better at making IT, and you guys seem to like IT too." Number 16 relaxes and smiles. "Well, I do like IT too, just not as much as number 4, though." Suddenly, number 8 notices the road is blocked. There's an ice cream truck nearby, with 2 men standing beside it. As they see the car, they approach and say, "The car broke down. Sorry." As soon as they finish, they're shot in the head by number 16 without warning. After the shooting, number 16 declares, "If you're gonna disguise yourself, do it properly." Wearing combat boots and trying to act casual, more armed men emerge from the truck. Number 4 quickly shifts the car into reverse at full speed, seeing their escape is blocked. The men open fire on the vehicle. Number 16 returns fire, taking down a few of them. Immediately, number 4 shouts to number 16, "Contact the others. They've blocked the rear too." A car full of armed men speeds toward them from behind. The car crashes into theirs. Knocking it off the hill, we see that number 16 is still conscious, protected by number 8, who is heavily injured as well. The chapter ends with both of them battered and bleeding, the chaos of the ambush shadowing their fates. Please like and leave a comment. Will help boost my video commenting. Even an emoji would do.